Well, some people want to be foster parents, but the process can seem a little intimidating, so they just don't know what first steps to take.
Yeah, we want to demystify the process, especially given how significant the need is in Nebraska. 1,400 children are in out-of-home placements.
Yeah, Michelle Muhle is from Nebraska Children's Home Society, and Kimberlee Faughn is a foster parent. Thanks for stopping by this morning.
Good morning, Kimberlee.
Michelle, you know, there's a lot of foster parents. What makes a good foster parent?
Well, you know, we're not looking for cookie-cutter foster parents. We want foster parents to give some variety. So, you know, the children that come into care have a variety of needs. So we want our foster parents to have a variety of strengths. So we look at all kinds of people for fostering.
But you know, some people say, I'm not perfect.
You know, you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a perfect parent to be a perfect foster parent.
And there's people out there that have always said, you know, we should be a foster parent, but they haven't made that first step. What keeps people from doing that, taking that first step?
You know, I think it's fear of the unknown, lack of education, and that's what I'm here for, is to educate people. So.
What's the process like then?
Well, people call our agency and they get in touch with me, and I schedule a visit with them. I go to their home and we talk a little bit more about foster care and the system and what to expect, and then we get them signed up for classes, and they go through a series of classes that last about 12 weeks. And then the licensing process and home study and become licensed.
And Kimberlee took that first step, what, 18 years, how long ago?
About 8 years ago.
About 8 years ago. 8 years ago. So about 8 years ago, you took that first step. So what made you make that move and want to decide to do this?
You know, my husband and I, we were kind of at a point in our lives where we thought we could take or leave kids. We weren't sure yet. And so we started looking into adoption, which led us to foster care in Nebraska Children's Home. Going, I mean, that's everything we kind of feel, that we could bring children into our home, love them up, send them back. And so we signed up for the classes, and 8 years later, we're still doing it.
Wow, we're looking at some images here. Are these the kids? Is this your family?
Yeah.
Look at the mustaches.
Well,
Listen, you guys
my
should really
youngest
have
won
some
the
fun.
mustache contest that day.
How many foster kids over the last 8 years have you had?
We've had over 20.
Wow. Have you adopted as well? Or?
We've adopted 3.
Wow. What is it? I mean, I imagine when you love these children, but then there comes a point to where they're not with you, most of the children, right? That's not the point of it, but that's got to be tough.
It is tough, but you know that that's what you're getting into, and that's our goal, and that's our hope, that they get to go home, that they get to be with their family. So you just love them up, and you build those relationships with the family also, hopefully. And then you can still keep in touch from time to time.
Do you have one takeaway for other people who are where you and your husband once were, where you just sort of weren't sure, but you thought about it, read a little bit online?
Yeah.
What is your one point to those other spouses?
To, like you mentioned before, that fear. But when you educate yourself and you do your research and you find an awesome agency that has all those answers, those fears go away, and then just sign up for the classes and just do it, because like you said, there's over 1,400 kids in need a home right now, and you can do it.
Yeah, you and your husband, you're dedicated foster parents. Is there one thing out there that you want people to know before they get into the process that would help them make that decision?
You know, to have that honest conversation of what you're looking at, what you're going into, and talk to your group, you know, your family, your friends, because they're not going to stop being a part of your life. Like, get them involved.
And then you didn't have kids, but there are other people out there considering being foster parents that already have kids. And Michelle, I don't know, do they have different things to think about?
Sure, I think that, you know, it's a family decision. It's not just an individual decision or a couple's decision if you're married. It's a family decision. It's going to affect everybody in the family. So I think that it's important to talk about that as a family.
You flush that out in classes, right? That's
We
why
do.
that's why you have those classes, because you've been in this. How long ago did Nebraska Children's Home Society begin?
Oh my goodness.
Aren't you one of the oldest organizations?
We are.
around?
We've been around for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Or 120, well, 25
when you
years.
said 25, I didn't want to correct you because you
125
worked
years.
there. But I was
Yes.
going to say, we've met with them before, and I remember, like, the organization is almost as old as the city of
Long,
it
Omaha.
is.
If we really think
Been
about
around
it.
since the late 1800s.
Yeah.
But I mean, you understand what it takes what a successful picture looks like
Yeah.
for the kids, for the families, and that's why you hold those classes to make sure that it works for everybody.
Absolutely. And when we started as an agency, you know, we recognized that children belong with families. So way back when we started, we did the unconventional thing at that time in looking for families for children.
Maybe we've, through this discussion, some people out there watching today say, you know what, we've been talking about this for a long time. Let's make that first move. When do these classes start?
We have our next round of classes actually starting January 18th, and then we'll start another round after that, probably at the beginning of May.
So not this coming Monday, but next.
Correct.
Monday's when those classes start. And Michelle said earlier, just call me. So you can. Here's her number. It's 402-659-9996. 11 offices around the state of Nebraska. So that we have one here. This is really about serving the whole state on Facebook and then online at NCHS.org.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by this morning.
Awesome
Thank you.
stories online.
Very
Appreciate
informative,
it.
yeah.
Thank you so much. And
Thanks.
nice to have cheering section. Make some noise.
They brought a crew in here.
Look, they're going like this. That's not making noise.
And they did, and thanks
Guys
for
are great.
the birthday greetings as well.
Yeah,
We
you're
appreciate it, because it is almost my birthday.